There is a Goldilocks curl here. And then there's this weird ribbon. I don't know what this is. Looks like a ribbon. So here's the ribbon. Here's her neck. And this is that curl I was talking about right here. Shoe. Let's just kind of make this curl kind of like three-dimensional here. I'm kind of creating like a cone effect. I don't know if you see it. Why don't we just do this? It'll be easier. Come on, pencil. All right, so right here is kind of like where the curl kind of wraps out and around. There's this weird shadow here. And the rest of it's mostly light, it looks like. Go ahead and put some kind of dustings of hair trundles in there. And then we'll go and do the ribbon. Let me know when you have that curl in there. The ribbon is right here. And we're going to erase this because this is not needed. And the ribbon connects. There we go. This weird shadow. The hair curl that I'm going to put here. There. And then the ribbon has this kind of weird streak to it. It looks like your curl back here, this area, is actually defined by a B or a B3 between there, depending on how heavy you are. But that's her back curl here. And then there's a little bit of a reflective shadow here. Go ahead, put that in so that ribbon comes out. And this area is not supposed to be that dark. Little tiny bit sliver of darkness here for your ribbon. And a triangular shape here for the shadow on the bottom of the ribbon. Okay, we'll come back and we'll play with that just a little bit more. But it looks like my neck was bowed out just a hair. And here is her neck. She's got a really long neck. I'm creating the sleeve here. And it looks like that ribbon needs to be a little bit skinnier or placed over more. There we go. Beautiful. All right. So let's kind of get this headdress in here, and then we can start making more of an educated This is called gestural drawing, when you kind of sketch your way messily through it to kind of figure out where things are supposed to be placed. I'm thinking her ear is right here. And there's this weird kind of triangular thing. I don't know what that is. If it's her hair, maybe it's her hair. Anyway, let's kind of just get her hair established here, and then we can go back and get her headdress here, like the thing that she's wearing. Even your shadows should not have as many curves. You want things to look realistic. All right, let me know when you have that, because I'm going to smudge it. YouTube only allows me to do 15 minutes for each video. I am fast forwarding through the smudging process. The goal here is to apply a painterly sort of shading to emphasize watermarks. Next, you're going to want to use the negative drawing technique to lighten up the values, and then start building in little bits of strands for hair. Here you're going to push and pull the values. So you're going to go in with your pencil and smudge it, and then take an eraser and draw into it back and forth until you get the desired effect where you have a softened shadow of hair from the hairline all the way to the top of the head. Okay, so her hair is to my liking. All right, you ready to do the crown? You probably already have the crown done. That's okay. I'm just kind of feeling my way here out. I don't know if this is the proper measurement or not. I think it is. She looks very queenly. All right, so this is supposed to be, so as you're doing the tiara, you got that vanishing point. There's a vanishing point somewhere around here on this side here. And then when things are facing you head on, the tops and bottoms are more likely to be horizontal versus an orthogonal slant. So you're going to have another one over here. So that is how your 2-point perspective comes into play here. I love Q-tips. People are like, oh, go out and buy all these fancy, you know, paper tourniquet things. And I'm like, no, I am too cheap for that. This day and age, man, things are expensive. All right, now that I know that this is where I want things to be, I'm going to round it out and make it a little more crisp and presentable. So, she's got a shadow here. So let's put that shadow in. And then she's also got one over here. And let's clock out the light spots with our negative drawing technique. This will really like bring things forward. Let's add the spokes. We have a vanishing point like right near her face. Like, let's say like right between her eyes. From this section, you are going to kind of create a radial design. So you're going to have your spokes basically go towards the vanishing point. And you're going to shift as you go up the head. Your diagonal lines are going to become less extreme and more of a straight vertical. The left hand side, your diagonal lines are going to shift where they're leaning towards the left versus the way they started when you were working on the right side. There we go. A lot better. And this actually has to come out more. There. Your light source is coming from the top right of the picture onto the Statue of Liberty's head. So the underside of the spokes will be shadowed. Some of them will have light on the top, except the one that's in the middle. That will become completely shadowed. Oh dear, this side needs to be adjusted, shaved down, and brought into at more of a slant because it is turning away from the viewer. All right, so we flattened and squished the top of the tiara so it is unified and in proper proportion with the other side. It is now time to extend the right hand side just a bit so it evens out and looks like it is three-dimensionally proportioned. Now that everything is in proper proportions and has been corrected, we can now add some finer tuning to the spokes of the Statue of Liberty's tiara. We can do this by smudging it out to maintain that unified painterly, shadowy technique that we used at the beginning of class. And this needs to be chiseled. There we go. Now that we have more of our area, we can make a better judgment call on where this ear goes. That's why I haven't done the ear yet. So right here we have, let's shade this in so we can get a better understanding of where this arm is. And I'm thinking, if I recall correctly, once again, this is gestural drawing, I think her arm's right here. I'm drawing super light. I'm doing her arm right now to try to... We're missing some of her sleeve. Here. And this actually has to wrap up and around. Her arm is right here. So let's put that in. And her arm in thickness is about from her widow's peak to the tip of her nose. So this arm is not thick enough. Okay? So let's move that over. And it will start to look better. It won't look like she's got like a deformed arm. Alright, let me know when you have the arm-ish. We are going to have to make... Okay, so from here to here, this should be all of her face. So her sleeve is actually supposed to be down here. So from here to here, it's literally from the widow's peak to her chin. That is where you're going to have the fold of her dress as it goes out and around. This fold part was always so hard to teach. But it's starting to kind of piece together as we're kind of, you know, putting it in.